Hi YouTube. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. I am happy. The only truth being told, I mean, as far as the information I had learned that freaked me out when I was a kid, the only person with the knowledge to bring that to the public um is a Satanist, you know? Isn't that crazy? So, um I'm actually telling you that I've found a trusting, loving spot in my heart for a Satanist. This doesn't cover all of them. I do not know all of them personally. I don't know Dr. Hillman personally, but there's something about his presence of mind that with the truth. I know what the truth is because when I read it um and was taught to decipher, if you knew the study I had into it as a child and the training for all this, it would totally blow you away. I don't know that you would have survived the excruciating hours I spent alone going over um languages and cultures and all kinds of mechanical, um, ethereal, spiritual. I mean, the training I had would have you would not have been able to function in society. You wouldn't have been going to school or doing the things I did. God put something special in me to be able to do this right now. And you need to trust me and learn the information for yourself. It is not just a man and his father that put you on this planet. God put us all on this planet, and it is based on a man and a woman's energy from him. That's the duality on this planet, and that's a real thing. And we are only to praise God, nobody else and nothing else, you know? Now, God, it says even in the scriptures, God praises the woman. That's Him, you know? I mean, to be thankful to our great mother is wonderful. And to be thankful for the Christ spirit in people or some kind of divine application in a person that they could have for different reasons in this world, you know, that all comes from God. So that's where we need to concentrate our energy, no matter who we call God, you know. That's my oh, um that's my uh it's not a hypothesis or a theory when it's facts. It's not a fairy tale or a suppose something within myself that I'm trying to get people to turn away from our creator or anything like that. That's the whole disgusting thing of the whole thing of the lazy, and I almost swore there, people out there that do not think deeper than what they're told on the surface and been conditioned and programmed to do, you know? You could say, well, maybe you're conditioned to, oh, they tried. They fucking tried. Um, I'm sure they probably wanted me to be some kind of Manchurian type of something, something, because you don't have a kid and train her in all the war arts and um, implements of destruction and martial arts and everything for no reason. I mean, language, dance, music, everything, everything. You don't push a child to its ultimate limit unless you have a reason for that. And they try with all of them in these societies. They try to get them all to that point of what that actually is, but some of us are born with that something in us. That's a gift from God, you know. It's just like Dr. Hillman, I know for a fact he didn't just come upon this. He has been searching his entire life for the truth. He was probably laying in his crib trying to figure things in this world to help other people. That's that's my thoughts on that. I could be wrong, you know. So I don't know if he'd even ever talk to me because I asked some really pointed questions from the divine Christ spirit aspect. And once again, I if you are a follower of Jesus, you're a follower of the dark energy and don't know what you're doing, and that who helps you, and that's the level you're on. If you're comfortable there, not knowing any more about how the scriptures were written before the Hebrews jacked it. I told you, they either took away vowels or added vowels with their language, and that it was comprised of different languages towards the English and stuff, and the migration of the whole thing. I've been telling you on my channel for 7 years now, you know. So, yeah. I first got on here right after broken shoulders, broken toes. I had a stroke. My horse squished me. I mean, I could go on, and my operation for my sinuses, my hair fell out. I mean, I could go on and on with my injuries. I just want you to know my push and my endurance for this whole situation and the seriousness of it and the seriousness of you looking into it for other people and your families. This includes the whole world. This isn't seclusive to just who is Christian, Satanist, Buddhist, whoever, whatever. This is dark energy against light energy, period. It's not a bringing together of these two things. It's a cleansing of that. It is bringing back our history, and wherever we find that museum and that literature and those images that from our history is where we should go and learn as much as we can. And once you do, there's no going back. Once your brain is open, you're gonna feel relieved because you're not gonna have to be taught by anybody. You're gonna feel that in yourself. I still wouldn't recommend anybody becoming Satanists. They've made a mockery and a hokey thing. It's the same level as Judaism, Christianity, Catholicism, whatever, whoever. It's on the same level as those conformed religions. What people with God in their hearts really need to do is just call God God and take your religion back in your heart, whatever you want to call it. Is your name Tom? Call it Tomerism. Sally, Sallyism, you know? Start your own little church. If people are good and they have God in their heart, you know. Yeah, I come down hard on people that are doing weird stuff in front of kids, but and I'm not backing down on that, But for me to say that I would have hatred or not hug you and make you my friend or want you to love me, that would be a flippin' lie, and these people that would portray theirselves better than thou, or even change their fucked up, hokey little, um, scriptures and then condemn other people if they're gonna say, "No, we don't want this pedophilia and this shit around our children," and then say, "Well, then you're a hater." Go f yourself. You don't know what you're talking about. Who's a hater? The liar that won't tell the truth? The liar that has to practice Hebrew so he can make his fat ass money out here? Or the scholar that would go deeper and learn everything you can learn on the whole situation? That's who I admire and trust, these bulldogs out there that won't stop, you know? And some of them are Ivy League scholars, but very few that are will tell the truth. It is, but there are ones with doctrines and um medical doctors, scientists, extreme physicists, psychologists. I've gathered people that I believe are probably top tier on this planet that I know they've felt my energy in the ether, probably if they're old enough when I was born, and I felt them too. That type of mind, you know, for people. Because if you're not for people, you won't recognize your own anyway, and they won't even know who you are, you know? People won't. You won't recognize a soul if you've never traveled on the soul train, I guess is the way to put it, you know? So, yeah. Ones that can tap into the ancient stories, and when they hear them, they know it's a part of their selves, it's in their cells, their DNA, and they know that their life has been before and will be again with that promise from God. There's a lot of us out there like that, you know, but some aren't. And they're the ones that they're just not ready to graduate, you know. That's what an exodus is, you know. Maybe, and I doubt this because they're the dark cabal, but I was going to give them the benefit of the doubt for a minute. But nah, I won't, but I'll pose the question. Here's a too compassionate mind for murderers reasoning with their scriptures. Maybe they really didn't understand what Exodus meant, that it was ethereal after you die. No, they knew. They just didn't want you to know because they didn't go anywhere. They still live by the Southern Caucasus. They still live in Turkey and Egypt. They never left. Oh, there's some that did. Yeah. And there's some people that had God in their lives and in their hearts and wrote the original scriptures that never left their area either, like Crete or Cyprus or, you know, Greece. The Wow, I'd love to see that part of the Mediterranean. I always have wanted to. How cool would that be, you know? Or even I would love to go see Italy and the Roman Colosseum and um Sicily, and that'd be cool too, but not as cool as it would for me to go to Greece. I've always wanted to go there. Maybe I will. I'm not dead yet. But yeah. So I mean, I think most people know. Okay, here's a cool thing. There's some Renaissance art that is showing over on Lady Babylon, and a lot of them look like me is a weird thing, but the coolest thing, there could be like four things that look sort of like me, but one of them will have clothes on. It makes me feel like my spirit has always been with myself and other people for who I truly am, fully clothed like that and not exposed to the world. Although it's fucking pummeled me, excuse me, because I'm a bold person like that, you know? Could you imagine me in a room of Shriners, Masons, Scottish Rite, Eastern Star, whoever they are, and my personality with a group of them all by myself? Thousands of them, like in a coliseum, actually, in Minneapolis. Imagine that, all by yourself and being opposed to their organizations and their ritualistic ways with their sorcery. So imagine being opposed to all that because you know you have things inside yourself that are natural that they're trying to acquire and learn, and it would have only really been love for me that would have gave them their so-called magic, but they did things the wrong way. I mean, even within your families, you know that if they do things the wrong way and you walk, well, they didn't get their way. You always got your way because you rebelled. You were, on a different level than that. If you're understanding what I'm meaning like that, if you kind of like made that separation with your family because they're not all there, or we'll just say it nicely, on a different level, you know. So truly, this is hell and Satan's in control. I'm still not kissing ass for fucking nobody. I'll never do that. I'll fight first. I don't care who it is. You don't fucking tell me shit. Yeah. Anyway. Not you. You can talk to me. Please talk to me. I love you all. I really do. When you just drop a hi to me, it makes my day, would ya? Thanks. Thanks ahead of time, people. No, for real. I'm out here. I'm trying to find the words to get you to look deeper into this life itself. Um, it is magical, but in a natural way, you know. And I was thinking about all the homeopathic medicines and what they've all tried to do with that. There's some of that can be so dangerous if you don't know what you're doing, you know, if you don't know anything about plants. Here's a for instance. What if you went and bought a seeds of forget-me-nots and you grew them and you didn't know they were poisonous, and your grandchild crawled up to one of them flowers and dropped dead right in front of you, you know? But then if you extract that and mix it in with, well, citrus would work, any kind of acid, and you could actually make like a cure for cancer, you know? So it can either be a very potent drug, very potent, it takes very little, or um, one dose of it would eliminate that bacterium in your system, you know? Little things like that I actually know, you know? I studied it when I was young, but and then learning how to forage like my own property in different places I've lived out of necessity. Um, and then with the internet, I was able to get back into it again. So yeah, I learned a whole bunch all my life about a lot of things, you know. But I do know some things that other people don't know about plants. Yeah. I really wouldn't recommend anybody messing with any of it. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's, I guess, better than um, going to the pharmacy, you know. Yeah, it's way better. But, like, take for instance, tannins can be really lethal to you. So, like, if you're drinking red wine and it has tannin in it, it's called tannin, because they use it for tanning hides to make leather. Think of that next time you're drinking your black tea, red wine. Green has a little bit in it, but it has actually high in chlorophyll too, that can be agitating to some people's systems. But yeah, just thought because I know a red wine drinker, be careful. It can really rip you up inside. It's not just the alcohol. Maybe maybe yeah, I guess if that's what you like, but I would change to white wine or a Chablis or something a little less deadly. And what they use to make beer, whoa, that's freaking scary. Like I'll drink a lager. I haven't for a long time, but I'll drink a lager like from Canada's my favorite. Well, or my second favorite would be an ale from England called Bass Ale. That stuff rocks. But yeah, and I like Canadian whiskey too, a blend of like Canadian Windsor. It's good stuff. I drank way too much of that in my life. Loved it though. I was drinking that, taking shots when I was a little kid to impress my dad and his friends. Boy, was that a zoo, you know? Wasn't me. It was the dark cabal. I drank the Kool-Aid and it was purple in a ritual. Did I tell you guys, some of you know about when somebody really tall with a like a Taurus bullhead Satanistic thing on, and the ceremony, like when I was 12, it was really weird. My dad and his friends and other people were there, and I was standing in front of this thing, and all of a sudden, one of his my dad's friends, came up there and stood there in front of this thing, and I went back and sat down, and they proceeded to have like copulation. So it was like I married it, and then I really did in life, but um, because I was confronting the situation. Uh, the shit that happened to me and the other things they freaking did to me with some body fluids from guys and combining that and different things, the weird shit they put me through, I'm not fucking forgiving that shit ever. There's some shit, it's just not fucking forgivable, you know? I don't care what anybody says, you know? So, anyway. Well, I went off. Yeah. So that's where I go with like people in their satanic rituals and that type of thing. That the true magic comes without a ritual and honoring both the male and the female energy out in the ether. And until people do that, you'll never have the whole picture. If you want to take the family out of the world, you don't fucking belong here. Period. So just leave them the goddamn hell alone. Yeah, I swore. Did I take the Lord's name in vain? No, I didn't say Jesus. And I didn't damn God. I'm damning the people that hurt children and families. If you hurt families, I mean, even doing weird shit in front of, you know, even a mother or a father, I mean, get a grip, people. For real. If there's societies and people that want orgies or whatever you people want to do, you know, um, to each other, hey, God bless you. Go get an island and stay the fuck away from people that don't want to see that weird shit, you know? Or I'll put on my robe and cast a spell on you. I'll put a spell on you. No, I'm just kidding. I really am just kidding. I already did that, and here you are. So people need to take life a little more serious. Not to the point where you're having a bummed out day, but like you better know how to not raise hell, but actually raise hell. If you got somebody that's kind of like a shady motherfucker in your life, you either walk away or try and raise that energy. If you're not capable of that, you don't belong in the field of saving souls because that's not you, for real. If you're, yeah, if you think you can do that, you know, I know I am, but some people are not worthy, and I'm not going to waste my time. That's a fact. Because you'll never find a more loyal, honest, happy person that actually is genuine that will defend you. Anybody. I'll defend anybody if they're being unjustly harmed in any way. And that goes for if you were, say, if you weren't even a conformed Satanist, but you were doing some shady stuff in your life, but I knew that the dark force was working through you, that you had been beaten to a spot or you took a spot that really was unnecessary, or if it was necessary. Maybe people have certain blessings in their lives that um, other people couldn't really determine that because they wouldn't even be on in tune with that, you know. So But on this plane of existence, while we are alive as human beings, we have a mother and a father energy. That's why it feels so quiet, and it always will until you can come to that realization. They're not joined together like a lump of coal, you know? And all men come out of women. It's not that you used to be female. Don't buy that, please. That was terrible. I did say that the other day, but in my heart, it's not that way. You are born who you are, you know. It's true. But if you want to believe scientists that would screw with your head and your soul, go ahead. I'm sure they still can't tell you the gestation period of the Morgellon bugs that are combined to make this, what they call a super virus that I wrote about twice over on morgellons.org, because it didn't take me long to figure it out when they were trying to push this on the public, and I stopped them dead in their tracks before they could go out there and say, it's a plague, but now it's just a cold, type of thing on you. So that's where I'm at like that. And yeah, my brain is super scientific, and I'm not done yet. I just hope some smart people start talking to me just a little bit, because, yeah, it's lonely and they can talk together, and that's the way Satan wants it, to try and control me. Well, that shit, it's never going to happen. So it boils down to this: he doesn't have the last say in anything. And if my God's stronger than your God, my God's stronger than yours. That's an old dog food commercial. Be careful who you praise. If you say, how do you do? And wish my God well, I'll wish your God well. How's that sound? How's that for a trade? I'll wish you well under that guidance if he learns how to do it right. Or I'll do it myself. Because it's not being done right on this planet. None of it. Well, we'll see. We'll see who's stronger and smarter and cuter. We'll fucking see all that shit. And more talented in every way. So we'll just see about that. That's all I can say. Yeah, am I blowing my own horn? Yeah, I just did. Get over it. I can't help it. I'm not going to lower who I am to supply somebody's narcissistic need. Go yourself. Not happening. Not ever. So, anyway, people better wake up and realize, really, um, you're playing with fire. You really are, by being ignorant and stupid. This is an opportunity for the whole world to have that great awakening we all want so much, to truly lift the veil with the apocalypse of the truth that is going to be told, that is being told by the most decent people in the world, and only the dogs are the scumlords, and they'll pay for that shit, guaranteed. So I appreciate you joining me, I really do, and I love you with all my heart. Peace and love. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.